Poltergeist, not the dud one, not the dud one, the shitty 2015 Poltergeist. What do I think of it? What do I think of it? A boring, pointless, forgettable, one by numbers, typical doll story, no imagination. They just dug up from the past, wasn't needed, wasn't wanted, a piece of fucking shit, end of fucking rant. But no, I'll get on with it. But that's my thoughts of Poltergeist, the 2015 one. Now they say that old films get better with age. They say that old films become classics, like the original Poltergeist by two good directors, one who's sadly no longer with us, like John Hooper. A classic which I've been reviewing a lot of his films, being Steven Spielberg. Actors and actresses who are sadly no longer with us, like the legendary Ethel Rook, may she rest. Such a sad loss of such a long actress. Lots of other good actors who are sadly no longer with us. Good acting, a good moody atmosphere. It was different. It was above its time. That is now a cult classic, same as some of the sequels, some which are sadly rants, like that one. But this, on the other hand, it's not aged well. It's forgettable. It's run by numbers. How many people nowadays say, do you remember that remake? What remake? It was called Poltergeist, was it? Yeah, it was called Poltergeist. It came out in 2015 because it's forgettable. Like, it's run by numbers when it comes to shit, mate. Do you want to see a sample? Do you want to see a sample of a shit, mate, that never got anywhere? Forgettable. That's your example of one of them there and then. It wasn't needed. This director, it felt to me like this director wanted to make a typical one by numbers told story. He didn't know how he's going to make it successful because at this point they made so fucking many. So he just slapped on the word Poltergeist and called it a fucking day. That's all it feels like to me. It felt like that. Now, remember the Freaky family? You like the family, your typical American family, they're funny, the performance is brilliant. With the Freaky family. In this, there's your fucking Freaky family at the back of me. It's called the Wooden family. The acting is so fucking wooden, it's unbelievable. Every performance is made out of wood. Now, the actor is basically dad. He's doing a good job. I've seen him in other things. He's a good actor, but they don't do a lot to do. They don't. The older sister, I do know they made her like the typical, like the one in the original, but even she had some ability she liked. You know, she's an older sister. I get it, typical. There's a bit where she's got the phone on in the original, and the father's knocking on the door, and he says, "Put it down." But in this, she just comes across being a fucking brat. In fact, that's what they all are. That's all they are. They're just brats. The brats. Now, I do like the little dirt that plays Tara Lamb. She's no Ethel Rook, but that'd be wrong of me to say because no one would ever replace Ethel Rook. But I do like the fact they've got a little dirt who looks very similar to a long Ethel Rook. The only difference is she's got black hair. Now I'm trying not to compare it a lot with a dud film that came out in 1982. Was done by two dud directors. I just said rewind back. I'm trying not to compare it with the original, is what I'm saying, because people say, we always compare movies from the original. You should look at it as its own merits. But what? If we took away the word poltergeist, it fails because it's just one by numbers. There've been that many. There's been that many that it's fucking forgettable just for that. And the fact they took it from a damn good film and everything what the original did brilliant. This fails with an epic fail. It's your typical one by numbers remake. One of them what is forgettable. It's forgettable. So where can we start with this fucking monstrosity? They're in the car. When you see a video game and you got kids going on the motorway, that's what you know you're gonna fucking get. And there's a bit where they're on the dinner table, it gets mentioned about a house being built on a burial ground. I'm trying not to compare it, but that's doing it for me. But it doesn't get mentioned since. I do give it its merits, though. There are bits where it does try to become its own beast. Like the father in this isn't your house salesman like the original one. He's down on his luck, so he gets this house on the cheap. But you know what that reminds me of? Do you know what that reminds me of? There was a film called Annabelle of Horror, come out in 1979, and they also did a remake of that. Remember the Annabelle? It was based on a true story. It kind of reminds me of that, where the father's down on his luck, so he's getting his wife and his kids, and he gets a house for the best house ever, a beautiful house, but he gets it cheaper than what he should get it, and it turns out it has a past. But even that's fucking got a better story, because it doesn't mention why his house is haunted. It only gets mentioned a little bit, and this feels like it's cheap. It feels like a cheap budget fucking one by numbers ghost story. Now, I may not like the fucking third one, but I can laugh at how stupid it fucking is. There's nothing to it. There's no humour, there's none of that. I know I'm trying not to compare it. But the fact they used the name from a dud film. So, there are bits, I know it's a remake, so there's going to be bits where it's similar to the original, but it's done in such a shitty, CGI, one by numbers fashion. The bit where they got the seats, remember that? And it's all stuck up in this CGI style. I do like the bit where Tyler Lando puts her hand on the TV and you got all these hands, all just the TV. I get it now, it's an LCD, it's a modern film. I do admit I like that touch. I wish it was a bit more like that with the hands on the TV and she put her hands there. I've got to admit I like that touch. But the bit was to be the fucking most annoying bit. Remember the test of the town and it attacks the kid? You do that, that it jumps out, but it's your typical boo-hoo jump scare. How many times have you got to go boo to see how many times you get a reaction? I can go on anything, man. With some daft videos. Right? Remember the one with the cars driving the toss? Got that relaxing music, and you go, there. Some fucking face jumps out at you. Or you get a face of raging from the Exorcist go at you. How many times have they got to rely on them boo-hoo jump scares? It's getting to that point now where it's getting fucking boring. So you get a typical tester toe, it jumps out, woo, scary. But there are bits where you make the older sister, the father's down on the luck, and the older sister wants the latest mobile. Fuck you! Get a fucking job! She's old enough to get a fucking job, but she's whining at her dad there to get the latest mobile when she knows he's down on his luck. So, again, just like the original, is a bit where Thailand goes in. Now, do you like the touch here where she goes in, sees this light, and instead she walks in willingly. She doesn't get dragged like in the original. She walks in by her own self, following the fucking light. And there are bits where the kids' hair stick up in the air, and the kids are getting excited over it, not knowing what the fuck's going on. But you just like the original, the little dude's tapped in the light, but there's no emotion with the mum. No emotion, like. I love the original. I love it. Like the bit where the mother says, she went through my soul. That had me crying. I just couldn't give a shit about any of the characters, to be honest. I didn't. It seems like the third one, you had the late Everall look, even though she looked ill. But in this has to be the worst. It wasn't needed. It wasn't wanted. It was one by fucking numbers. It's to be called one by numbers. What can we do to make some money and a profit, even though it's a loss? Oh, we just slap Poltergeist on it. The 3D gimmicks, because I almost forgot, because the film's forgettable. One by numbers, 3D. When it come out, they put it in 3D, typical 3D gimmicks. We've seen 1,000 fucking times. So you've got Tangerine. The only difference is it's now a die. But it's that, for some reason, he's got an Irish accent and he has his own ghost soul. You know, like ghost hunters and all them stupid one by numbers ghost souls. He comes in to help and find Sarah Lan, the wooden family. I'm not going to call them the freaky family because they're all wooden. Even the little boy gets stared that many times. You go boo and he's a fucking wimp. He is such a fucking wimp, this little boy. He's a younger brother. So they send this thing in, it's like a tome, but that reminds me of a dud film called Runaway, with Tom Selleck. And it's going so fucking slow, like this fucking movie is going so fucking slow. Just to find Talalam. Now there's supposed to be another jump scare. Electric Jill jumps out and frightens the far for fucking hell. We've gone to practical effects to an electric fucking Jill. No face getting ripped off. No, dude, that would be a fucking imagination. That's from a dud film. I'm trying not to compare. So they send these drones to find Talalan. You got Boohoo jumps there, CGR fucking ghosts. I don't give a fuck about. Not stare, boring, one by numbers. Talalan jumps out this time, and I think the mother gets does like a dud film. Trying not to compare. And then they get Talalan. But I think right there, Tantalene for some reason gets slapped in. You don't know if he lives or dies. But this is how stupid the film is. Compared to films that have no imagination. And they got the house cheap by this woman who's like a house saleswoman, right? Again, to explain why the house is haunted. So they get Talalan and everything. And obviously, Tantalene doesn't doss it because now he's rich. He's still got his dame, so the dose, so I should say. And there's no effects in like the bit where he says he knows what stares you, just like a dud film. There's no emotion can project. The actors can't fucking act, they're all wood. So it's hard to be funny here, nearly at the end. It's hard to be funny. There's a bit where they're pretending they want this house to meet the same woman. House doesn't know them, I don't know, but they pretend they want this house. And they want to buy this new house. And then they drive off laughing. And that's the end of your film. And I think, what the fuck was that all about? You take away Poltergeist, but a new cycle, you know, that's imagination, something what Hollywood is lacking, and got it haunted house, jump scare house, boohoo. This film would not have got the recognition it got when it come out. It would just be a one by numbers, a boring boohoo jump scare, a CDR orgasm, another 3D gimmick, ghost story. It's a fact that the fucking lazy director thought, I need to make some money here, because most of these now, like the Junzidine and all these other ghost films, a lot they get run by numbers. How can I make a bit of money? I got an idea. I've got it Poltergeist, because that was from a very, very dud film, and I'll make money. And that's what this film is. It's a chast jab. They've got a bit in it where they're walking, just like in the third one. But that's the bit I did say was dud about the third one. The bit where Talalan walks just that water puddle and the hands come out to get her. They're trying to copy that, where instead they're walking through mud and hands come out. And I'm thinking, seriously, you now got a copy from other films, for like the third one. I'm on that like, and I still think the third Poltergeist 3 wasn't needed and was a piece of fucking shit. But I give it its merits, like the Millers. I remember praising the Millers. I remember praising that scene where Talalan gets dragged in and the man's dragged by the water. But the fact this just copies from other films, I can't even do that. I'm mad at it. I've just said it. You take away the word Poltergeist. This film is run by fucking numbers. You've seen it done 1,000 fucking times a day. And it's an insult. It's an insult. Knowing the original, some of the actors are no longer with us. Same as when they did that. Even that was the legendary Everall look. May she rest. This, it wasn't wanted. It wasn't needed. And today, it's not even remembered. To me, this is definitely a rant. Points? That's the points I'm going to give it. Because the only reason why I was a little bit nicer to the third one, even though I fucking hate it, it did have a little bit of imagination. It was just based on a film that wasn't needed. This was definitely not needed. This film, in my eyes, was definitely not needed. It's just a trash jab. Should be called Trash Jab in 3D, Boohoo Dumpstairs. There's your name. There's your name. Wooden family. Not funny. Wooden. Little boy, annoying. The older sister, fucking annoying and bratty. Kids, bratty. Father, down his luck. Mother, can't act out of a paper bag made out of a piece of fucking wood. There, that wood's got more character. That wood there, someone insulted me on one of my videos and said I live in a coffin. But guess what? That wood there, that has more fucking character than the fucking actors in the Wooden family. What else? I'm going on over because I love the original Poltergeist. And the second one, I don't mind it. I think it's a good sequel. I don't think it's as good as the original, but it's a damn good fucking sequel. The third one, that's a piece of shit. But the original, I love. I love the original Poltergeist. This was a kick in the balls for anyone that loves the original by a good director. Steven Spielberg detects doing this film, Poltergeist, over the years. He really does, because there was always a argument. Did John Hooper do it? Did Steven Spielberg do it? But I'm just surprised Steven Spielberg didn't go mad because they took away his baby. Hey man. Remember when they had them little mogwai teddy bear looking things and Steven Spielberg sued the company over copyright? But he doesn't even mind that they remade his baby, Poltergeist. It's a classic. I'm going all around the fucking houses. This film, it wasn't wanted. It wasn't needed. You take away the word Poltergeist, I'm not going to repeat myself. It's run by numbers. There's your name, run by fucking numbers. You see a ghost story every day. Boo-hoo downstairs. This film, that's how many points. I've been going around the houses for half an hour. This film can kiss my fucking anus. It can kiss my asshole. The original will always be a classic. This is forgettable. I'm not going to say the same words. I'm going to repeat it up so many times. Fuck it. Fuck this film. See you later.